Hi, Alice here. I wanted to speak upon a topic today that I feel like Spirit is calling me forth to hold space for, or shall I say, speak upon. I have been seeing myself and those around me going through this, I want to say, pattern, or I feel like it's an epidemic for every one of us who are going through this right now, who has a phone, who has access to social media, that we are receiving so much information bombarding us through pleasure of receiving the quickest answer to whatever question we may have, to really just watching videos or clicks of people sharing what it is that they're doing on a day-to-day basis. That's not to say that it is not nice to be supportive, but we have to catch ourselves, right? We have to catch ourselves as to how much are we putting our focus on our phone. Okay, and so Spirit has been telling me that right now for the collective, it is very important for us to be aware of what it is that we are consuming on our phone on a day-to-day basis. How long are we putting ourselves in this situation where we are allowing ourselves to doom scroll, where we are consuming information that are not of the highest good? And how do we navigate this, right? Like, the answer that I got from that was to remind ourselves that we don't always need to have an answer. We don't always need the next high from watching the next video and seeing what is up with a person, or any information in regards to anything, any topic. Sometimes just being in stillness is enough to relax your nervous system, to come back home to who you are. And that doesn't mean that you need to have an answer. The answer will come to you when you are in stillness. And so what that looks like to me lately is I'm getting the image of us spending more time in nature, going out for a meditative walk where we are consciously aware of our steps. It could also be where we are allowing ourselves to be mindful, whether it's just for 1 minute, of how we are breathing. Is our breath shallow, or is it with ease and grace? I've been catching myself, and I noticed that I too am not perfect, right? And so therefore, that's why it's coming to the forefront for me to also apply this into my day-to-day life. That I have to get back into my body. I have to remember the natural rhythm of my body and what it needs to be nourished. Sometimes we think that it doesn't hurt to be on our phone and doom scroll, or laugh and watch something funny. But sometimes that could do more harm. Because right now we are going through a spiritual warfare. This is a warfare on our consciousness, right? And so we have to be more mindful as to how we are going about our day. What information are we entertaining, and what information should we not allow into our field? So this topic of being aware that we need to be more present, and that next dopamine hit is not worth it, because we're creating these fantasies, this overthinking narrative of the people we're watching on our phone, and we're not coming back to our present moment, into our lives, and creating memorable memories that are more everlasting and it matters to us. And so this is what Spirit is wanting me to share. That if you catch yourself doom scrolling, do not give yourself a guilt trip, but find your balance. Find your moment to put that phone down, that overstimulation, and catch your breath. Just allow yourself to close your eyes and witness yourself breathing in and out. If having to write a word in your journal or on a piece of paper is what's going to allow you to be more present with yourself as a reminder, then do that. But right now, I'm seeing people in my life that are doing this, where they are just doom scrolling for hours. And I am just wondering, when is it enough? When do you want to be more present in your life and stop receiving all these information that has nothing to do with your day-to-day life, or it does not benefit you at all? And who am I to share this, right? Who am I if I am aware of this, to share this when I too am not perfect? But I think that's why I'm getting the message to share this, is because we are needing to get back into our body. We are needing to understand that our phone is a tool. It is a tool for us to use to share information, but also to use the information to serve our highest good. But when we are too much on one side and we're not paying attention, or we're not being fully aware of how much it is consuming us, that's when we are needing to be reminded of how important it is to come back to our body, to be fully present in our body, and to take a step forward, place our phone down sometimes, and read a book. Go for a walk and be in nature. Allow for all those information and energy that you are attracting through the phone to be released out of your field. Because, to be honest, it is not necessary. It is not necessary at all. And so, yeah, I think that Spirit is wanting me to come forward with this awareness that I and the collective, we are going through this epidemic of having this dopamine high from our phone, from this quick fix that we're needing, from needing an answer right away, and not tuning into our intuition, or not being in our body to receive from Spirit. And we have to get back. We have to get back to our natural rhythm. We have to get back to Mother Gaia, to the earth, and ground ourselves and be in our body and be fully grateful for our life, so that we can create the life that we so choose to, with more ease and more grace, instead of the constant bombarding information, whether it's good or bad. There has to be a balance. And so I hope that this topic might hit a marker somewhere in your life, in this here and now, as you're tuning in, and for you to just be more mindful. I need to be more mindful myself, and that's how they're getting us, like, we need to be more mindful of where we're placing our attention and how much of it are we placing into information and doom scrolling that is just putting hours of lifeless information into our field, when we need to actually use that energy to create our life. Okay? And so, yeah. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, bye.